Welcome to episode 16 of the Dance Improvisation Series. I hope you are enjoying the episodes. If you do, consider sharing them with your friends or someone whom you think might be interested. For quite some time now, there has been one major question roaming in my mind. I have tried to address this question in multiple episodes, but until now, I have struggled to articulate what it is. I think this might be the closest I've got to what I'm trying to figure out. The question is this: what can dance communicate? And once we have addressed that question, we can also ask the following: how can it communicate that? Obviously, both these questions go hand in hand. In attempting to answer one, we are also answering the other. In exploring this topic, I am going to rely on a somewhat limited definition of dance. Nowadays, dance performances have a wide range of possibility, in which many theatrical elements are used. But for the sake of this argument, I will be using this definition of dance: to produce a series of motions and steps, usually performed to music. Now, with that phrase alone, we are already given a lot of opportunities. One can interpret that in so many ways, and that is part of the beauty of dance. We can create an infinite number of styles and steps to a single music. So, considering the variety of music, physicality, and culture of our species, we can start to appreciate the limitless offer that is creating a dance. And we have created so many different dances, from flamenco to the haka to popping. All of these dances have originated in a different moment in history and have come from vastly different cultures. Therefore, they represent and communicate different things. But what are they communicating? What are we trying to express through them that can't be expressed otherwise? Both the haka and flamenco are traditional dances, and therefore their continued practice could be interpreted as a wish to keep cultural rituals and ceremonies alive. But that argument is only valid from a modern-day perspective. What about the dance itself? Flamenco is very closely tied to flamenco music, which originated in the south of Spain in the gypsy culture. One could say that the music and the dance were created simultaneously, in constant dialogue with each other, and have grown together to bring us what we have today. So, is flamenco an embodiment of flamenco music? Yes, in a way it is. And yet, anyone who has had the fortune of witnessing a live flamenco performance has also seen how much theatricality there is in the dancing, and how much interaction there is between the musicians and the dancers. I've seen something very similar happen in performances by the choreographer Akram Khan. He seems to be having a conversation with the musicians, with his mode of communicating being a mixture of Kathak dance and his own original movements, while the musicians answer by singing and playing their instruments. So in these two different dances and cultures, we found a pattern of sorts, one in which the communication seems to be happening on stage, and the audience is a mere witness to it. But then there's something like the haka, the dance of the Maori people of New Zealand, which seems to be communicating in an entirely different way. From what I've gathered, it can be performed for several different occasions. It is often performed at funerals, one of its main themes being the celebration of life and death. But it can also be performed to acknowledge great achievements and individuals. Then there is its use in preparation for battle, performed by warriors to proclaim their strength and prowess in order to intimidate the opposition. Nowadays, this version of the haka is most known through New Zealand's rugby team, who perform it before their matches. So in this case, we have a traditional dance that varies a lot in what it communicates, and yet it is the same dance. I'm far from having reached a decent answer to my question, but it seems to me that dance is closely tied to existing patterns of the cultures we are part of. We agree collectively on its practice to celebrate or express what we believe in. But perhaps I've reached that conclusion from having focused on traditional dances only. Do we in the theatre work that way? Or are we more focused on the individual value of the choreographer or company? It seems that in attempting to answer one question, a lot more have sprung up. What is your own take on this? What do you think dance communicates? I'd be glad to hear your thoughts and beliefs on this matter. And as always, thank you for listening.